Welcome to the Superkick podcast for 2024 round 10 review. And first off, we have Viatel versus the Sheep. And in an upset, Viatel has got their fourth win of the year, beating the Sheep by 16 points, with Bailey Humphries being the best with 5 goals. That was matched by Waterman, but the Sheep just didn't have enough multiple goal kickers to win this week. So the final scores was 99-83. In the next matchup, we had the Vengeance against the Quiche. The Vengeance were always going to start out of the box quickly here, with Geelong playing on the Thursday, but you just didn't quite score enough, the Vengeance, and even the surprise of Pendlebury kicking 2 goals still wasn't quite enough, and ended up losing by 31 points, 5 goals, with Blake Hardwick being the difference for the Quiche, 112-81. In the next matchup, it was the Scorpions versus the Stars, who are fading very fast here. They've won the first 5, and now they've lost the next 6 games. With Danaher kicking 3 goals for the Stars, but Charlie Cameron kicking 5 was the difference in outscoring the Stars, the Scorpions. So they get their next win, and still in contention for finals, just the Scorpions. Final score is 94-87. In the fourth match of the round, we have the Goldfest playing the Funky Balls, who have come up against the 2 best sides in the Superkick history, and they just didn't quite meet the standards they require. They're just losing by a few goals here, which is disappointing for the Funky Balls. They've lost their top spot now, that they held for a couple of weeks, with Peter Wright being the best for the Goldfest with 4 goals, and Jesse Hogan being the best for the Funky with 3. Final scores 102-95. In the last match of the round, it was the Mangoes at home against the Don Is Good. Don Is Good has been on fire with 6 wins on the trot, including this one. The game started well early for the Mangoes, with Lukosius kicking 3 goals in the first quarter, but then King finally woke up and kicked 4, and Lohman with his 5 was the difference in the game, with the Don Is Good winning by 26 points. Take a look at the ladder now, and it's the Ish Quiche on top, 1 game clear. Then the Funky Balls, Don Is Good, and Goldfest all on 6 wins. Then the Sheep, Stars, Mangoes outside the top 6, and Pirates all on 5. Viatel with 4 wins, along with Scorpions, and the Vengeance with 2 wins are last. Looking on to next week, here is round 11, with the Sheep looking for revenge against the Mangoes. Funky Balls take on the Walsh Dogs in the BH Cup. Goldfest will be trying to stop the rampant Don Is Good. Vengeance take on the Stars. This is a must-win game for the Stars if they want to stay in the finals contention. Viatel, with their boost in form, take on the top of the table Quiche, and the Scorpions take on the Pirates. In the BH Cup, we have the A-Track playing the Powhatan Pirates, and it appears that the A-Track has qualified for the BH Cup finals, with the 5 goals from Bailey Humphrey being the difference, ending up winning by 24 points. Moving on now to the SMS League, and it's the Fortress who took on the Asians in the first game of this round, and it was a very tight contest, with the Fortress just getting over the line by 8 points, Waterman being the best with 5 for the Fortress, and Charlie Cameron 5 for the Asians, as well as Blake Hardwick. It just seems like the Fortress has a bit more depth and were able to get over the line in this game. Final score is 115 to 107. In the next game, we had a very tight tussle between the White Line Fever and Rocket Rod, who's been in some terrific form. It was Rocket Rod who was able to get over the line with Horn Francis on the Sunday being able to kick the winning goals, while Jaya Miss 2 goals 5 on the Saturday night will be very costly for the White Line Fever, and that is what's cost them the game here. Final score is 95 to 99. Next game was against the two cellar dwellers, with the Wobbly Kickers taking on the Walsh Dogs, and it was the Walsh Dogs who prevailed with a little bit more depth than what the Wobbly Kickers have, with Kai Lohman being unbelievable with 5 goals being the difference. Final score is 104 to 62. In the next match of the round, it was the Free Smoke versus the Rubber Gloves at the Cigar Lounge, and the Peter Wright kicking 4 goals, and James Harms, the draft top up recently for the Rubber Gloves, proved the difference. Final score is 102 to 83. In the final game of the SMS League, we had the Mint and Mick play the Pokebombs in a high-scoring affair, with Mint and Mick starting out early with Lukosius kicking 5 goals, but King basically matched him, and then with Stengel and Heaney taking the lead with 3 each, it was too much for Minter to catch up, with Guelphy almost getting there with 3 goals 3. Final score is 102 to 110. Taking a look at the ladder now, it's Pokebombs clear with 8 wins. Then the Asians, Rocket Rod, White Line Fever, Free Smoke, and Fortress with 6 wins. Then it is the Rubber Gloves, Walsh Dogs with 4 wins each outside the top 6. Minter Mick with 3 and A-Track with 3. And finally the Wobbly Kickers round out the ladder with them at last with only 1.5 wins. Take a look at next week now, and we have the Wobbly Kickers taking on the Rubber Gloves, the Flying Fortress taking on the Walsh Dogs, White Line Fever in the top of the table clash against the Pokebombs, Free Smoke against A-Track, Funky Balls take on the Walsh Dogs in the BH Cup, and Minter Mick take on the Asians. Rocket Rod has the bye. In the Kinder Surprise this week, it is Kai Lohman with his 5 goals against the Richmond Football Club. Shit Libraries Award.
Charlie Cameron for his second of the night, and to make it 9 of the last 10 for Brisbane. Never ever looked right. Charles in charge all afternoon until now. Walker at the back, Fogarty had a hold. Not going to matter. No, he's hit the post. Can you believe that? From the top of the goal. Burst through, and once he gets going, Essendon fans usually get on their feet. That would have gone through, I think. I reckon that would have gone through for a goal if he leaves it. Yeah. It cuts through them. His chip over the top is perfect into the pocket. Billings to play onto the open goal and miss. 3 consecutive behinds to start his second. Bounces, he sends it long. Rioli in the square. The Tigers in. Liddell smothered. The goal was 25 metres. There it is. Oh boy. Close. And he's missed it. Geelong to have any chance of winning this game
Their champion Ford must kick accurately.
Just the composure in that traffic to be able to pivot and dance, incredible.
Goalless tonight, which is a rare thing. Jeremy Cameron, he has pushed this hard left.
Hitting duck to that great kick. That's what's ahead.